Church people can be some of the most loving, kind, inspirational people that I have ever met in my entire life. And church people can also be some of the nastiest, most self-centered, most territorial, rudest people that I have ever met in my life. And here's the problem that I think many of our churches face today. Um, we don't have good ways, at least not in the churches that I've been a part of. We don't have really good ways to hold the people who are rude, bullying, territorial, self-centered, passive aggressive. We don't have good ways to hold those people accountable for their actions and their statements and the way they treat people. And whenever the pastor gets involved, because the pastor is usually the one who is going to take the lead on holding people accountable, suddenly the conflict gets shifted from this person's behavior towards the rest of the rest of the congregation to a conflict between the pastor and the nasty person. And that just sucks. You know, when we as pastors have to try to do our job and say, look, folks, you can't act like that. You can't you can't treat people like that. You can't say things like that. This is not your kitchen. This is not your choir room. This is not your church. This is our church. When the pastor says that, sometimes they get backing from people in the congregation, but not very often. And usually what happens is there's backlash against the pastor. The pastor's a meanie, the pastor is strict, the pastor is authoritarian, whatever. When all the pastor is trying to do is the job of keeping the congregation healthy. And I can't tell you how many how many colleagues I know who have had to do this, had to live through this, and have just gotten so tired with one place that they move on to the next and they find exactly the same problem. It's a really crappy part of ministry, and it's one I really wish we could figure out how to change.